Good morning. It's Sunday, it's family day, and usually we don't have a ton to do on family days, but today we have a first communion, so we're trying to get out the door in the next 30-ish minutes, which might be a bit of a stretch, but we're gonna do our best. So I'm gonna do quick little glam today, try to bring in the colors that I'm wearing, which is kind of like this rusty color. Currently available at Target. They're overalls. They're sort of a linen fabric, flowy. I'm obsessed with them. They're a little short though, I gotta say. I'm not a particularly tall person, but I got the small because it fit me right everywhere else, but it's like ankle length. I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence. We'll see. All right, so starting with a little Touch Glorious primer. Start all of your makeup with a primer, please and thank you. You'll be so glad that you did. Trust me, it makes all the difference in the world in terms of the finish that your makeup is going to give you, as well as how long it stays on your face. If you run out of primer, the secret is setting spray. You can spray your face with setting spray to begin your makeup routine, just like a primer. It's going to help everything stay in place. Not quite as good as a primer will, but pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Let's see here. So that's the little trick. If you're traveling and you don't want to take both things with you, you can take your Touch Behold setting spray, spray your face, let it dry, and it will act like a primer for you. That's my spiel. All right, so I'm going to use Old Faithfuls today. I'm using liquid foundation and cream concealer. Again, this is what I do. I just need to change things up every now and again, and this is kind of how I do it. I get bored with my makeup routine being the same way every day, and for the most part it usually is, to be honest with you. But for the purposes of videos, I think it's important to kind of hit all different realms of what people like to use, and you know, every product has like a different useful factor, so I try to hit them all. My hair is actually slightly purple today because I used a purple shampoo last night and it was strong AF, which is good. It acts like a toner. All right, so trick with the primer. You want it to sit on your face for a few minutes and acclimate to your skin so that you're not like basically getting rid of it by blending your makeup right on top of it. Okay. Touch Mineral Liquid Foundation. This is Eyelet, the shade Eyelet. Always make sure that you blend all of our products. Dump the plunger a few times, give it a good shake. They're mineral based, which means that they need to just kind of recombine so that you're getting a good mixture of everything all together. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little, like the half of a dropper on the back of my hand, and then go ahead and place it on my skin where I want it to go. This foundation is a water weight foundation, so it's gonna feel like a water droplet on your skin. It's not gonna feel like a cream foundation at all. The first time that I used it, I was a little off-put with it, to be honest with you, because I was so used to using really thick cream products that I got this out and it looked like I'd never used a foundation that thin before. Hi! I'd never used a foundation that thin before, so I really wasn't sure what to expect about it. Hi, McKendra, how are you? But the foundation coverage is fully there. It's just that you're not getting like those big sort of glops of it. This is an EcoTools sponge. It's pretty big. I always wash it out with hot water and hand soap, which is why it's super squishy. It has some moisture in it. And then I just go ahead and use it to blend out my makeup by pressing it into my skin. Never take your makeup and drag it across your face. You're just not going to like the way it looks and it won't stay long term. So I always use a damp EcoTools sponge when I do my liquid foundation. It's my favorite way to put it on. And I feel like it really stays well. It just kind of blends everything out really effortlessly together. You okay? I'm very okay. We're in a rush to get to a party, a first communion party today. So, of course, I'm the one that's holding everything up because I had to make the breakfast and clean up the breakfast and get everybody else showered and dressed. So my glam comes last. All you moms out there totally get what I'm saying. Okay, we're fully pressed in. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with cream concealer. This is our Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer in the shade Velour. I didn't want a super, super bright highlight today, which is why I'm going with Velour. It's still going to give me a brightness without giving me like a stark white contrast. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that. And when I say a little bit, I mean a very little bit on the back of my hand. You can always add more, but I spread mine out with a cream shadow brush, and it prevents me from putting too much on. I feel like whenever I apply it with my fingertips, I end up putting more than I need on, and that's where you're going to notice like fine lines and creasing, is when you add way too much product to your face. So I usually try to be a little bit conservative with how much I have on. Alright, so I do sort of this like upside down triangle underneath my eyes. This does two things. It brightens and it highlights, but it's also going to sculpt out my face so that when I add my contour, it looks that much better. The name of the game is essentially keep the inside of your face nice and bright and light, and shadow in around the outside of your face. Thanks, Rosie, you too. So keep the inside of your face nice and bright, and then shadow the outside of your face, and you're going to basically be able to tailor the shape of your face totally by doing that. I wish that I had known these tricks when I was pregnant, because my face was a bowling ball. It was so round. My face was pregnant both times, for sure. Okay, so I still have a little bit of concealer left over on the back of my hand. I'll reserve that for when I'm doing my brows. Back to the Eco Tool sponge, I use the short flat side, and I blend it in just by pressing. The same sort of motion. This is just going to press not only the concealer into my skin, but it's also going to blend it into the foundation. And that little bit of dampness that's in the blending bud is going to make all the difference in the world. It's going to make it so easy for you to do. And just pressing it in, and you can see how it just basically melts together. That is the benefit also of using one brand of makeup. I would not have believed it, because I used to be like a one-off person. I would buy this foundation and that brand concealer and so on and so forth, and they're not meant to go together, sadly. It never really worked out for me. Alright, so concealer is all blended in. I'm going to go ahead and use my Touch Behold setting powder to finish that. So I usually do a brush because I don't like a ton on my face, but this is the setting powder. It's a super finely milled translucent powder, and I just kind of pack it on and press it in. This is going to set my cream and liquid foundation and concealer so that it doesn't move at all during the day. It's going to create a barrier on it so that if I sweat or if it gets humid, it's going to absorb that extra dewiness and prevent it from moving. You always want to set your liquids and your creams with a powder. That's how I get my makeup to stay full coverage all day long without moving. Especially if you're doing your makeup for an event or something like that and you really do need it to look flawless for the duration, definitely follow these simple steps. You'll be so glad that you did. Done. So it doesn't really change the look of your makeup whatsoever. It just sets it. You can even put it over red lipstick, and it won't change the color of your red lipstick. It's just going to set it so that it doesn't move. All right, so those things are done. Let's go in with bronzer. Beachfront bronzer. This is the shade Malibu. I love this for a contour. So I just go in and I measure where I'm putting it. I go from the top of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth, and I start in the back and I slowly move it up like this, because I want to deposit most of the color back here and be able to softly blend it more towards the front. So you can see a little goes a very long way. Everything we have is hyper pigmented, which means you don't need a lot of product, because in each touch of product you're getting a ton of color. So on this side, again, start in the back, feel for your cheekbone, and just go right along your cheekbone, moving towards the front of your face and just blending out. Such a great contour shade. It's very believable. It's just got like this nice sort of shadow to it. I'm just going to go down the sides of my nose to kind of contour my nose in a little bit. I don't like the super duper sculpted nose. I feel like it looks a little contrived on me. You know, like I look a little too much like Michael Jackson for my own good. But it's good to just warm it up a little. All right, and now forehead. I try to be honestly very conservative with the volume of makeup that I use. I try to use as little as possible. I just feel like it blends out that much easier. I watch a lot of other presenters and a lot of other makeup people, period. And I would say that I probably use a lot less than they do on the average. Not in terms of products. I probably use about the same amount of products, just less of them in quantity. All right, so the jawline, super important for sculpting, getting rid of any double chins that you might have lingering around from the holidays. It makes all the difference in the world. That next, especially if you're going for family pictures, keep in mind, Beth, how was your half marathon? I've been waiting. Congratulations. I don't think I could ever do that. Everyone, Beth ran a half marathon today. She is Wonder Woman. I don't know how anyone, I get winded just thinking about it personally. Not a runner. Don't sign me up for cardio. Okay. So anyway, if you're going for family pictures, make sure that you highlight and contour. You will thank me when you... Oh God, here it comes. Okay, so next is Sweet Blush. I picked Sweet because it kind of goes with this whole earth tone look that I'm going with today. So Sweet is our most natural sort of blush color. One swipe into the pan, and there's plenty on there for my face. Once in, again, hyper pigmented. I try not to go crazy on blush, but I do like the finish that it gives me. All right, perfect. All right, let's see, what else do we have now? All right, so I'm gonna do a little, bit of eyeshadow today. I'm gonna use Gingerly, Lively, and Jealous. So I'm gonna start with Jealous. And I'm just going to blend this in with my Younique blending brush. And I'm going to put this all over my lash, or my eye line, from my lash line up to the crease, so that it's all over the lid. And I'm just going to blur it into the crease. Can you hear Chase talking about Minecraft? It's all he talks about. And I'm trying to like follow along to be a good mom and be involved and understand. But my God, it's like it's taken over his life. Okay, Gingerly, next shade up. I'm going to blend this right only into the crease, using that same brush, going right into the crease. And then the last shade we're going to use is Lively. And it's this bright orange shade, but I promise it's not scary. That's this shade right here. And I like that it kind of coordinates with what I'm wearing today, hence why I picked it. I'm going to use the Younique Deluxe brush, which is this angled brush here. And I'm just going to grab this and put it from the corner over my lid. But I'm concentrating it mostly on the corner. Should we do eyeliner today? I haven't used eyeliner in forever, but I'm kind of feeling like, why not? I'm just gonna go in and blend this out just a little bit. I hate unblended eyeshadows. They're a pet peeve of mine. So I try never to commit that sin. You know what? I will do my eyeliner after I do my brows. Sometimes I like to see how it all looks together. So Brow Obsession palette in Brunette is my go-to every time. And I'm going to go in with the Brow Artist brush, which is this little beauty right here. It makes doing your brows so simple. And I'm going to start with the dark brown powder. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw the bottom line of my brow and just make that nice clean line, and then go ahead and do the top line and grab all the little baby hairs that live at the top of my brow. Okay, so you want the arch of your brow and the tail of your brow to be the darkest and heaviest part of your whole brow. Everything else should subtly fade into it. So what I typically do to make sure that I'm doing a subtle fade is I don't add any more product. I just use whatever's left over on my brush and whatever I already have on my brow, and I blend it together. This also ensures that I don't have like really strong lines, and it forces me to blend them out even better. Apparently we're already preparing for Game of Thrones tonight. Oh. My life, I tell you guys. It's really something. Okay. So that's what I mean about the subtle fade in. I use very little product to do my brows, honestly, because I don't like that really contrived look. I like to have, obviously this is clearly filled in, especially when you look at my brows undone and done, but it gives a totally different structure to my face. When you cover one side up versus when you don't, this side just has a better layout. It's a little, you know, it's a stronger brow for sure, but it's not like, I don't know, I don't think it looks fake. I stay all on my own brows. I'm not coloring in skin. I see that a lot. And the fade is pretty authentic. It's certainly lighter in the front than it is in the back. All right, I'm gonna do its twin sister over here, because I do believe that they should be twins and not just like distant cousins. I do love to see people send me those memes all the time with eyebrow fails. Oh my God, they're so funny. There's a lot of really terrible eyebrows out there, and they act as like the best sort of guideline of what not to do. Actually, a Younique presenter put on Facebook the other day that there is an Instagram page called MLM Fail, or MLM Makeup Fail, and it's all Younique presenters, and basically it just like picks them apart. I mean, it's definitely not nice, but some of them are pretty hilarious because just like anything, it doesn't matter that they're using Younique makeup at all. It just, they're taking it to like a whole other extreme level with what they're doing and how they think that it looks. I mean, if you saw these people out in real life, you would be like, what's happening there? But they were all up in arms about it and whatever. I'm like, yeah, I guess this is the internet for you these days. All right, so I'm going to take the concealer that I have left over on my hand, and I'm just going to go in and do a little cleanup of my brows and add a subtle highlight on my brow bone. Just popped on. What are you using for your brows? This is the Brow Obsession palette, Younique's Brow Obsession palette. This is the medium shade in Brunette, and then I apply it with the Brow Artist brush. This is the original brush. So it's got 2 dark shades. These are highlight shades. I actually never ever use them. I used to use this one as sort of like a magic eraser when I went overwards. And this is a brow gel, so you can combine these together and it makes sort of like a pomade so that it glides on a little bit easier. There are days that I definitely use that, and then there are days that I skip it and just do the powder. So you can do both. I kind of play around with it though. If I'm going for a super subtle look, like today, I just skip the gel. Goes to, oh, it's Joelle. Joelle, the new mom of Total Events. She's here. Okay, so adding that sort of adds like a nice, clean, what am I looking for? And I'm just gonna go and blend that in because I don't want like just the shadow to hop off. We all know that I'm the blending queen. God, the kids are so ready to go, so they're just down there dribbling basketballs in the family room. I don't know why. I don't know how this happens. Like, if you're a boy mom, you totally get that they don't listen. Oh, shoot. Don't fall. Don't fall, don't fall. Okay, I am going to do eyeliner today. And I'm going to use this shade, this dark brown, which is proper. Dark brown. It's almost black, but a little bit warmer. And I'm just going to drag it right across my lash line and blend it into my lashes. Doing this, you're really not going to see it up here as a liner. It's just going to look like it's a, it's going to make your lashes look thicker. You can already see the difference. This is just smudging the liner into my lash line. I actually haven't worn eyeliner in, I would say, at least 6 months. I don't know why. I just like got out of practice with it. I use my eyeshadows a lot as liner. I don't know why. It just works. All right, so Epic Mascara, my 4Ds are on the way. So if you were on my pre-order list, as soon as they get here this week, I will message you and send them out. This is the original Epic. I do 2 coats of this on my lashes. The first coat is sort of my primer coat. It lengthens and separates everything. And then God, he's trying to rein all the children in, and it's kind of comical to listen to be honest with you. All right, so so then I go in and I do a second coat. The second coat is going to lengthen and separate and make everything that much longer and luscious. I like a long lash, which is why I can't wait for the 4D to come here to get my hands on it. I think I have 1 or 2 that are unspoken for that I just bought extras of for myself. So if you're dying for the 4D and you didn't get in when it was available, just send me a message and I will, as long as I have some available, I'll shoot one out to you. Alright, so that is 2 coats of original Epic, and it makes a major difference on your lashes. And then what I do is I take the excess that's still on the wand and I do my lower lashes with it, because my lower lashes are super blonde and you're not going to see them otherwise. All right, so final steps, highlighter. We're going in with Benevolent, which is my pearly, sort of glorious. This one works for every skin tone. I'm obsessed with it. It's sort of like a golden frost color. So I just blend this right on my cheekbone here. Down my nose. Right on my Cupid's bow. And it provides like the best sort of transition from your blush onto your highlight, and it just really follows your bone structure so nicely. It gives you that like glowy complexion. I don't have enough good things to say about this. All right, and finally lips. I'm actually going to use 2 different lip shades and an eyeliner today to do my lips. So I'm going in with Prim. This is actually an eyeliner, but I like this sort of neutral brown that it is. I go in, obviously, I just want to sharpen it. I'm a snob about sharpening. It makes all the difference in the world when you sharpen your tools, especially for your lips. Okay, so I go in very gently with this. And you can definitely see that it shows up. So all the more reason to be sparing with it. If you don't line your lips, give it a whirl. It helps keep your lipstick on that much longer. It helps create the perfect line for your lips. If you have mature skin, your lips are going to look a lot more youthful because you're able to define them better. And then I'm just going to blend it in with my finger really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go in with 2 shades of Splash Liquid Lipstick. The first is Sympathetic, and the second is Sparkling. So Sparkling is going to kind of be the center of it, and I'm going to go and make like an ombre lip. Sympathetic is one of my favorites. And I go ahead and blend it right into where we lined. And I'm basically just going to leave the interior of my lip without it. So that's Sparkling. I'm sorry, Sympathetic. Now I'm going in with Sparkling in the center. And this is going to give me like an ombre look. So this is a very light nude. Okay. With Splash Liquid Lipstick, you should always apply it on dry lips, number 1. And number 2, you should let it dry for a minute. If you want to put lip gloss over the top of it, more power to you, but just let it dry for a second so that it gives you, like, this stuff will wear like braided steel all day long, as long as you layer it appropriately. The other thing I don't do with it, I don't like rub my lips together. I just like pat them together very gently. And it makes a big difference. All right, and then I'm just going to take a concealer brush and tighten that line up because we want the perfect pout. We didn't come this far to only come this far, as they say. There you go. I am going to add a little bit of Ladylike on top of this. Ladylike is sort of like this, it looks neon orange, don't be afraid, it's gorgeous. Because I went super neutral everywhere else, I like something to have a punch to it. So that's usually either my lip or my, I don't really go crazy on the eye anymore. I just feel like I'm a little old for that, honestly. I said it out loud. I'm a little old for that. So I usually try to do either my lip or my cheek. I'm just adding a little more bronzer because I have an addiction issue with bronzer. Clearly. All right, and that's all she wrote. So the last step is setting our makeup. I'm going to go in with Touch Behold setting spray. This is what keeps my makeup on point all day long. And it won't move. My makeup will stay in put. It's stay in put, stay put, stay on my face. It's all good. If you live in humid climates, if you live in really hot climates, if you're a sweater, if you have oily skin, if you just have a problem with your makeup shifting during the day, grab 1 or 2 of these. Come June, these things go out of stock until like September because they're so popular. They do an incredible job of keeping your makeup in place. And as you can see, my makeup looks a little wet right now. It would take about 30 seconds to possibly a minute to dry. I'll usually expedite the process by using my Younique to dust it off. But honestly, this stuff, it dries so fast. It basically melts all the powders that we finished with onto your skin, and it creates like a shield, almost like hairspray does, to keep your curl in place. And it honestly, it dries to a matte finish. If you like a dewier finish, then go ahead and grab one of my rose waters. That's found in the skincare section. And so if you're a person who likes powder finishes, like if you use powder for your daily makeup routine, and then, but you like a little bit more glow and dew to your skin, grab one of the rose waters. I say grab the big one because I use this for my skin every day too. I'm telling you, it's the best. That's what's going to give your skin a dewy finish, if that's what you're into. So there you have it. There is our sort of peachy orange First Communion glam of the day. I'm going to go ahead and take an unfiltered selfie, and I'll post it at the end of the video with all of the comments of what I used to create this look. And then if you have any questions, you can just hit my nose. A little description box will pop up that says shop here. You can go ahead and see any of these products online. If you have any questions about being color matched or anything like that, just shoot me a message and I'm happy to help you, or comment on this video and then I can send you a message, but whatever works for you. All right, so we're officially 6 minutes late to the party, so I gotta go, but thank you guys for joining me. I will see you again on Tuesday. I love you too much. Bye.